second we reflecting with the light, but this the life, I fucking love it. Wouldn't trade it to be white, now that's alright. I got the right at birth, the devil's redefining work.
Someday you'll pay the price.
No, I don't break a fold, I need and bake the dough, then recreate the flow. They think they making though, what they forsake is so essential. Over lentils, get your issue. Guess who's on this instrumental with you? Gives a damn if we was family, view unread and call it spam. I'm not a fan of Antichrist, they slayed the man, I swayed the Tim like here I am, the son of Sam is taking shots at David Berkowitz. Pussy.
Someday you'll pay the price.
A different discipline existed in this New York state of mind. Say sin, snot, no, not the actor, but the year we zephyr. Not one thing in mind to grind until this gavel turned his words to mirth from Babel.
You know that you are. As cold as ice to me. You know that you are.
Front lines since 69, I follow protocol. This kingdom built on God bones, so I can't love Esau, and I can't fuck with y'all. I ain't gotta say it twice, you vouching for the enemy, but
Someday you'll pay the price.
look, my father ain't have a father cause of dope, I'm anti-politics, cause Christ died from a vote. How the richest nation locked the homeless up for being cold. How ironic they relating, smoking weed to getting stoned. You trim your ways and seek they love. I'ma bring this sword back wet with a vest of dip in blood. Niggas giving up when they don't even give enough. Going nowhere fast, niggas always in a rush. I give them love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. No way I can serve another God. I give my love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. I can't
You know that you are.
Shalom, 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 man. Y'all live. Welcome to Toxic Masculinity. I am your host, Captain Sakawar. Want to welcome everybody to episode 2, titled She Doesn't Know, That's Why You Have To. Before we get into the proceedings this evening, I just want to take a moment to remind everybody tuning in that this is a man's show. It's by men, for men, in an attempt to equip my brothers with the logic and truth necessary to win the never-ending battle for their manhood. Not to say there is nothing that a woman cannot or will not gain from tuning in, but understand that everything expressed, discussed, and broken down on this podcast will always be based in logic and truth. All right? Logic and truth. Not emotions, not a feeling, not some desire or uncontrollable urge that cannot be explained, but logic and truth. Right now in this country, in this society, in the world at large, there is a war being waged against logic and truth, a war that expands beyond political affiliations, racial demographics, gender identity, and social status. For some of us, this war is blatant and obvious to see, but unfortunately, far too many are becoming casualties to their own ignorance. That is why this platform will be utilized to pull back the curtain, settle the dust, and clear up the fog, so that it can be made apparent to us all just precisely what we're battling against. What exactly does all that mean? It means we're going to keep it all the way 1,000% here. Raw, uncut, filtered but not watered down. Straight with no chaser. If you can't take the heat, now's the time to get out the kitchen. If you cannot swim, you are bound to drown. And never forget that while pressure bursts pipes, it is also what takes coal and turns it into diamonds. Having said that, let's get right to it. After you all hear me talk about tonight's topic, I will open up the phone lines, the comments, and questions. When we go to the second segment, I will post the call-in instructions in the chat. So if you're tuning in on YouTube, you're tuning in on Facebook, those instructions will be coming when we go to break, all right? You can remain anonymous if you'd like. Please keep your language clean, your questions not too personal, and we'll see who out there can deal reasonably in logic and truth. Again, the title of tonight's show is She Doesn't Know, That's Why You Have to. Last week, I talked about the 5 pinnacles of masculinity. If you brothers and sisters are tuning in and you missed last week's show, you can go to YouTube, Angry Black Man Media, pull up episode 1. You understand? In episode 1, we talked about the 5 pinnacles of masculinity, and at the top of the list was leadership. In the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commander General Yohana, one of the mottos that we live by is life is war. Everything in life is war. A wise man once told me that nothing in life worth having comes without a fight, not wealth, not peace, and not love. However, when it comes to love, relationships, and building a bond that lasts forever, all of us have been sold a horribly unrealistic dream. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm an 80s baby, which means I grew up being shown that every love story ends in happily ever after. Happily ever after. Why is it that we're never told about Cinderella's life after the prince delivers her from that ratchet-ass stepmother and them hating-ass daughters of hers? Or what happens to Snow White after she ditches the 7 dwarfs? Or Rapunzel when she comes down out of that tower? The reason we're never told about what happens next is because in real life, the only thing that happens after you get a woman is war. The way I was brought up, men referred to it as the game. And here's how it was played. A man meets a woman he likes. Not sure if she likes him back, he sets about devising a plan to win her over. And the plan consists of conversations on the phone, taking her out on dates, charming her by being witty, funny, courteous, romantic. Then over time, inevitably the walls she's built up to keep a man out come down. The man is invited in, draws come off, game, set, match. At least that's what I thought coming up. Then again, I guess that's the game when all you try and do is get a woman to have sex with you. But we're living in a time where vagina is trending at an all-time low of $40 a pop. And since this show is about building and maintaining healthy relationships, not getting sex, let's continue on. I remember when I was about 13, one of my aunts told me something that always stuck with me, but I never understood it until I tried to have a relationship with a woman. She said, "Nephew, don't you ever let a woman see the bitch in you. A woman will only get away with what you let her. And we know which man we can try and which ones we can't with certain shit." Excuse my language. In all my years of dating, playing the game, getting with broads and getting rid of them, I never understood what the hell my aunt was talking about. Mainly because I never gave a damn what a woman did one way or another. It wasn't until I fell in love and I found me one that I wanted to build with that her words to me as a young man came true. Now, before I get into all my personal business, let me just say this to all the fellas. No woman wants to leave. Sure, they want to be catered to sometimes. Hell, they'll even go out of their way to seduce, entice, and use their femininity to manipulate you into letting them have their way. but that's all part of the game. Women, for the most part, are indecisive, full of anxiety, and don't like taking responsibility for any actions that they make, any decisions that they make. Excuse me. Why do you think she never knows what she wants to eat? Or why she always asks you which outfit she should wear? Y'all might think I'm being funny, but I'm dead serious. Women would rather be told what to do than to have to decide for themselves. Again, women would rather be told what to do than to have to decide for themselves. Women make great team players, excellent employees, and amazing helpers. But as coaches, bosses, and supervisors, trash. Why though? For a long time, we've been running with the excuse that women are just too emotional. We've blamed it on their periods, their hormonal imbalances, and just their overall fragility in a misguided attempt to be sympathetic. Fellas, you ever had your girl do some shit or say something to you out of pocket and you think to yourself, is this bitch serious right now? That was her trying to see the bitch in you. Ever had something important scheduled or planned that you know she knew mattered to you and she pulled some last minute BS to try and mess it up? That was her trying to see the bitch in you. Ever have a woman tell you we need to talk, and when you agree to the talk, everything coming out of her stupid mouth is about how you ain't shit, don't do shit right, how she's not satisfied and you need to make a change? That was her trying to see the bitch in you. Now I guarantee if every man listening to this would ask their woman, why do you do the goofy things that you know pisses me off? Their answer would be, I don't know. I'm telling you now, brother, that's BS. She does know. She's doing it on purpose, and the purpose is to see how far she can push or how much stuff she can get away with. Why? Why do women play this game? Why do they push your buttons? Why do they test their limits? It's because they're being led wrong. If you aren't leading your woman, brother, then who is? Let me ask you, fellas, what's your favorite daytime talk show? What's your favorite monthly magazine subscription? Who's your favorite non-fiction urban novelist? You ever had a woman ask you, what's your sign? Or the new thing I'm hearing now is about Mercury being in retrograde. What the hell is that? These are entire multi-million-dollar industries geared towards programming and teaching women. Their target demographic for sure is not men. I remember when I was younger, they had the stories that came on. Young and the Restless, The Days of Our Lives, As the World Turns. And it was nothing that was and nothing in the way of that programming was geared towards men. This programming is designed to teach women what to think, how to feel, and what it means to assert themselves. Why they shouldn't accept this or deal with that. And she then turns around and uses the shit on you. When you and your woman argue or disagree, it's not your woman that you're battling against. It's something from the TV, the radio, some magazine, a book she's read, or what some other goofy broad told her. If you allow some influence from the outside to control and dictate your woman's behavior towards you, it's 100% your fault as a man. Realize that your woman only knows what someone has taught her. Going back to the nature of the game I described earlier, at what point did a woman have to develop skills to get a man? How does a woman even go about getting a man without dangling sex as bait? What the hell do women know about what a man wants or needs from them besides sex? Go ask a woman. Go, you meet a woman, ask her, what does a man need to be happy? What does it take to satisfy a man? If women knew what it took to make men happy, if women knew what it took to satisfy men, it wouldn't be so many single women out here. If a woman knew what it took to make a man happy or knew how to satisfy a man, it wouldn't be so many women getting used up and thrown away. Now, all of the blame for these women not knowing falls on us as men. Everything a woman knows or has learned, she picked it up from a man. Whether that man was her father, whether it was her brothers, her uncles, or some man that was in her life before you. For example, who tells a woman what clothes are fashionable or sexy? Think about all of the designers that are out here, all of the name brands. You got your classic ones like Gucci, Marc Jacobs, Louis Vuitton, Ralph Lauren. Then you got the new ones, the Louboutins and the Balenciagas and the Tom Fords. All of these are men. Think of all of the designers. A lot of them are homosexual men, but they're men nonetheless. Why? Because women don't know what's sexy to men. Women don't know what looks good and appealing to a man. They need a man to tell them, put this on and you'll get you a man. Put this on and you'll shut down the event. Who writes the music that women listen to that tells them what it feels like to be in love? Think of all of your love songs. Today, think of all of the ratchet songs. Everybody talking about Cardi B with the WAP. You understand? Well, before it was Cardi B and the WAP, it was Beyonce with To the Left, To the Left. Who wrote To the Left, To the Left? Neo wrote that song. Who wrote Rihanna's Umbrella and a lot of the hits that Rihanna had? The brother of the American Dream was the one writing Rihanna's hits. Go look at the writing credits, the producer credits of all of your famous singers you've ever known. They were written by men. All the famous music producers are men. Who makes all the movies and TV shows that teach women how to deal with trauma, pain, and what kind of man is a good man? Can you name one female producer in Hollywood? One female writer in Hollywood that makes entertaining content to teach women how they should be? Well, to nowadays, you got a couple of them out there. You got Issa. I forget her name. Issa on HBO. But for the most part, you got Tyler Perry. In the 80s, you had, John Singleton and these different writers and producers in Hollywood. But women aren't the ones that are making the movie and making the movies and producing these television shows that are programming these women and teaching them how they're supposed to behave and how they're supposed to act. This is why you are better than her. She doesn't have the skills that you have. She's never had to devise a plan for herself to attract the things in life that she's wanted. She's never had to deal with rejection after rejection until she fine-tuned her logic in order to develop her own unique perspective or ideology in life. But you have. Logic must override emotions in any and all circumstances, or else there is chaos. And that's what a relationship is when a woman is in charge. Brother, you have to train your woman or she will train you. If you allow a woman to lead, then your relationship will be dictated by her ever-changing wants, feelings, and moods. And this is what sucks the soul out of a man. Happy wife, happy life? What wifey wants, wifey gets? Well, I'll have to clear it with my wife. God damn it, man. Where are your balls? Going back to the Offset and Cardi B potential divorce that we covered last week, most of you brothers don't understand that your woman wants to turn you into a trophy. There used to be a time when a man desired to go out and find a woman that he could show off to all his friends. A woman that he could be proud to show the world. You see this one here? I got her. You can't have her. She's all mine. And a woman was proud to be shown off, proud to be on that man's arm, to say, yes, I've been claimed by this great man. Well, don't you know that if you was a player from the Himalayas, a Mac from the Outback, a pimp that flew the Goodyear blimp, and now you're some castrated woman pleaser, that woman holds you up as a trophy like a hunter hangs a buck's head on the wall. So how do you take back control of a woman who you failed to lead? First things first is you have to be willing to lose a woman in order to gain her. This means you have to be in a position where her leaving or giving you an ultimatum means you choose your happiness over hers. It's important, brothers, that you understand that everything in a relationship trickles down from you. You have to choose your happiness first, because as a man, having logic, being able to think reasonably and rationally, not being controlled by your emotions and your mood swings, you can decide this is what it's going to take to make me happy. And if you can establish clear parameters for what leads to your happiness, then you can lead and guide your woman on how to make you happy. And if you can lead and guide your woman to make you happy, in turn, she'll be happy because she'll be fulfilled and on knowing her role and knowing her importance and understanding that she's needed and necessary to add to your life. But if you are in a spot where you need a woman and can't do without her, work to change that now. Don't listen to this podcast and you just F your woman and you're going to do this and do that. I'm a man and I'm asserting myself. That's not how you get the job done, brother. You understand? You're going to ruin a relationship. One of the things that women need in a relationship is consistency. You understand? You can make changes over time, assert yourself over time. But if you're in a position right now where you need a woman, work to change your situation and your circumstances so that you don't need her. Now, my brothers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge are never in a position where they need a woman because worst case scenario, they can always lean back on their brothers. But if you're a brother out there and you don't have the brotherhood and the structure and the family and the love that we have in the ISUPK, I suggest you work hard to change your situation so that you don't need a woman. Secondly, nothing can be unconditional. Not your time, attention, conversation, or sex. If you can learn to withhold from your woman the things she desires, then you can use them to correct her when she's wrong, or reward her and give her praise when she's right. Now, not every woman is the same when it comes to the thing that they can't go without. So this isn't something you can copy and paste from one woman to the next. Also, you have to know if you're dealing with a hoe or not. A lot of y'all brothers out there, a lot of y'all brothers running around, you hear you cuffing broads that got second, third, and fourth nigga options lined up as soon as you get out of line. If her getting her way is why you're keeping a woman, flip that now. And if she holds on you, let her be the next nigga problem. You saved yourself years of energy and effort you would have put into a hoe. You understand? Don't be a rest haven, man. Don't be a Captain Save a hoe. If she want to be a hoe, man, let her be a hoe. You understand? There's plenty more where she came from. Learn how to be a man, and you won't be concerned about being overbearing and trying to keep some woman that don't want to be kept. Third and most important is you have to teach her and establish goals that'll elevate her position in life. It could be something as simple as how to play spades, budget monthly expenses, or cooking a meal at home that you would pay to go out to eat for. If she doesn't know what clothes are acceptable to wear when y'all go out, teach her. Baby, you shouldn't wear that. Look at you. You're hanging all out the place. Look, baby, you don't look good in that. It's, it's a little bit, it's not built for your shape. But baby, why would you even dare think of putting something on like that? Do I look like a sucker to you? You think you're going to go out dressed like that? If she doesn't know if she doesn't know she should go in the room when you're entertaining company, teach her. Don't have your woman just sitting around a whole bunch of the fellas and kicking it with like she's one of the boys. You got a house full of your brothers and full of men, man. Have your woman go in the room. Hey, baby, go chill. With the brothers, we chilling. Unless you're a brother that just, like your woman to be around all the fellas. Again, in ISUPK, this isn't so much of a problem because a brother in here would never dare look at another brother's woman or, they damn near ignore a woman if she in the room. You brothers out there in the world, man, you got your partners and your friends. Y'all come hang out, watch the basketball game. Have your woman go in the room, man. If that's what you want. Man, if you don't teach her, she out there hanging like she one of the fellas and it's vexing you and pissing you off, how is she supposed to know unless you teach her? Teaching a woman new things and instructing her to acquire new skills aligns you with her self-esteem. You build a woman up and teach her new things and show us potential that she never knew she had in herself. You will align yourself with her self-esteem. And when a woman looks at you as her motivation to be better or greater in life, she'll learn to equate satisfying you with success or happiness. That is what you want. You want your woman to make daddy proud. You want her to show you that she can be the best that she can be. But of course, this requires you to be someone she can look up to and aspire to be like. Going back to last week. You can't be a brother who's not working to make sure that this woman looks at you as someone she should aspire to be or someone she should follow. If you're dropping the ball on leading a woman, on making sure that she's on her P's and Q's, then as a man, you're not putting yourself in a position for her to honor and value you the way that she's supposed. This is why a woman is a reflection of her man. If you ain't nothing brother, you could have an ain't nothing woman. You damn sure don't want to be an ain't nothing brother and got a woman who's ambitious and wants to go out there and conquer and have things. You got to be a man that's pushing a woman, that's elevating her, that's showing her that she's capable of things that she never knew she was. And by doing that, you'll surely win her over. If you're in a relationship where you aren't satisfied as a man, it's your own fault. Brothers, you got to take some responsibility. Take responsibility. Well, I'm going to get into that. Let me go ahead and keep going before I start to ad lib. You understand? If you have a woman that always wants to argue, fight, and blame you for the problems in her life that you have nothing to do with, it's your own fault. If you got your woman who's always listening to her mama or her friends or coming at you with some BS she learned somewhere else, it's your own fault. Either you failed to teach and raise up a woman who knows how to please you, or you chose a bitch who you weren't man enough to break down in the first place. Whichever one it is, no one has ever put a gun to a man's head and forced him to lay down with a woman or to make her his wife. If you have a woman that'll lay down and submit her body to you, obey everything you tell her to do in the bedroom, but that's where your authority stops, you have no one to blame but yourself. You are responsible, brother, whether you like it or not. She doesn't know why she does the things she does. That's why you have to. It's part of the game. Either you coaching or you're getting played. The Most High made you to be the CEO of your organization. If that woman is on your team, give her some direction, draw up some plays, and watch her execute. Celebrate the victories, coach her through the defeats, inspire her to be the best, and don't accept any half-ass efforts. They say teamwork makes the dream work. Well, a team can only go as far as their coach leads them. And with that, we're going to take a small break, and we'll be back to discuss the fallout of the Breonna Taylor verdict and other subjects that we have slated for this week's show. Y'all live on Toxic Masculinity with Captain Sakawar. All right, y'all. We back. Y'all live with Captain Sakawar. Toxic Masculinity, episode 2. She doesn't know. That's why you have to. For all the brothers and sisters tuning in on the Facebook, we had some technical difficulties with the show. So I think we're down on the YouTube, but we're live on Facebook. Again, we're down on YouTube, but we're live on Facebook. For the brothers and sisters who are on the Facebook, I put in the contact information for you all to join in to the show. Any questions, any comments that you all may have, y'all can come on with them. Again, yeah, I put it in there. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, so we good to go. If brothers and sisters would like to join in on the Zoom, if you got any questions, any comments that you would like to bring to the show, y'all go ahead and feel free to hop on in. I got a couple of topics lined up tonight that I wanted to discuss. First and foremost, I wanted to talk about the Breonna Taylor verdict. As all of you should know by now, last week, the Attorney General for the state of Kentucky came down with one charge for the 3 officers that were involved in the no-knock warrant that was served at Breonna Taylor's house in Louisville, Kentucky. The officers came into her house, guns blazing. They were there to serve a warrant, I believe, on her boyfriend. The boyfriend who was there with Breonna Taylor was armed with a license to carry, had a right to have a firearm. He was there to defend his household, and he opened fire on the police officers when they came into the house. The resulting gun battle ended with Breonna Taylor being shot several times and being killed. All right. Brothers and sisters across the country, when they got wind of the Breonna Taylor situation, brothers and sisters in Louisville, Kentucky, when the news of her murder came out, began to protest, vehemently against the police. Started to talk about the corruption in the Louisville Police Department and different things that were going on in that city. Well, after many, many months of protests and many, many months of putting pressure on the black district attorney for the state of Kentucky, he came down for the 3 officers involved in the shooting of Breonna Taylor with charges against one officer for wanton endangerment. The charges resulted from that officer putting bullets into the wall of a neighboring couple's apartment. Now, the neighbors who lived next to Breonna Taylor, whose wall was shot up, they happened to be white. Breonna Taylor and her boyfriend, they were black. There were no charges filed for the murder of Breonna Taylor, but there were charges filed for the potential endangerment of the white couple who lived next door, who the bullets went into their home. And so last week when the verdict came out, all across the country, there were black men who were apologizing to black women. For what I'm not really sure, but there was a sentiment in the black community that somehow we failed Breonna Taylor, that somehow black men have failed black women, and that is why Breonna Taylor died at the hands of the police. Now, what I wanted to come forward and say is Breonna Taylor was a woman who had a man who she loved and who she was down with, and because she loved and was down with that man, he was willing to put his life on the line for her. When the police came in with their no-knock warrant, Breonna Taylor's man let off his firearm to defend her and himself in their household. And I'm sure that if that brother could go back to that night, he would easily have taken those bullets and saved Breonna Taylor's life. Black men do not need to apologize for not protecting black women. Breonna Taylor did not die because of a failure of black men to protect black women. Breonna Taylor died because our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And they are so cruel and unjust in their methods of going about oppressing us that they would come into someone's house with their guns drawn and ready to shoot without knocking. How do you serve a no-knock warrant? Now, there were many, conflicting reports from the officers of the different things that they did and the different things that they said they did in order for this killing to not be murder. But how do you warn someone if you're serving a no-knock warrant? It's a warrant where you don't have to knock. You ain't got to wait for somebody to come to the door. You just kick down the door. Why were black men apologizing to black women for that? If anything, black women now must learn that they cannot depend on the police, that they cannot depend on the system that America has established to protect them. There was a time in this country where black women used the police against black men. They got the things that I'm talking about in this show tonight. You and your woman arguing, you not having it. She want to yell, you yell louder. She want to try and be stupid and be physical. You defend yourself and block her and pin her down and let her know that she's a woman. Women would call the police on you. Just because she can't get her way, just because you putting your foot down, she would call the police to have them come get you out the house. Call the police, you understand, because she know you got a warrant. Well, now, in the light of the Breonna Taylor verdict, how about black women learn to never ever call the police for anything? Never ever call the police unless it is an emergency and your life is in danger. Because you calling the police on your man or on your children or for some frivolous, silly reason could result in your death. If anything, black men should now stand and tell black women, you see, they can't protect you. You see, they don't love you. They don't care about you. You see, black woman, we the only ones that's going to love you. We the only ones that's going to care about you. And if you want a man in your home that'll put his life on the line, if you want a man in your home that'll go answer that knock at the door, if you want a man in your home that will pull his firearm and will go out guns blazing to protect you and his life, well, then you're going to have to get in line. Breonna Taylor's man wasn't no sucker. And guess what? I guarantee you that Breonna Taylor was not no monster to that brother. Breonna Taylor wasn't doing a bunch of arguing and fighting and power struggling. She had a man who she loved, and because she loved him and respected him, he loved her and he respected her. If anything, black women should learn from this Breonna Taylor situation that we have got to love these black men so that we can have a man to be there for us, to be ready to die when the police come to serve a no-knock warrant. Hell, not even when the police come. Just have a man to be ready to put his life on the line. Because guess what? No man is going to be willing to put his life on the line for some bitch. No man is willing to put his life on the line for some woman that don't even respect him enough to follow his lead, to allow him to guide her and to direct her. And if you're a woman and you know that you're not dealing right with brothers, then you're going to have to get your stuff together because what option you got? You got the police. You understand? A lot of you women are with men who would not pull his gun when the police came and busted in the door. A lot of you women are with a man that would, you hear a bump in the night, he say, baby, what's going on downstairs? Baby, you want to go check it out? And that is the man that's going to let you rule over him, tell him what to do, tell him when he can go, when he can come. You understand? That's the man that's going to lose all of the things that made him a man that was desirable to you. He'll lose it all just to make you feel better, so you won't be insecure about him going and having other women. If you would like you a man like that, no sweat, ladies. I'm sure there's plenty of them out here. But you want you a real man, you understand, that's not afraid, that's not scared, that's going to go and check out the bumps in the dark, that's going to go cock his pistol and go to the door or go check around back. Well, then guess what? You're going to do what that man tell you to do. You're going to have to take whatever things you think you won't deal with, guess what? You're going to have to deal with them. Because here's what us real men are not going to do. Us real men, knowing how rare we are not going to allow ourselves to be limited in any capacity because of what you feel, because of what you think, because of, you insecure. Damn that. A real man is going to be a real man. And you can keep that real man if you do what you're supposed to do. If you get in line and you serve him and you be the woman you're supposed to be. But don't think that you can be some monster and you're going to have a man that's going to be willing to put his life on the line. Don't think that you can be some monster and you're going to have a man that's willing to die. Breonna Taylor knew what was necessary in order to keep a man. That's why she had that brother there with her that night. That's why he let his guns go. Unfortunately, it resulted in that sister's death. But the lesson that black women and black men must take from that is that we are all we got. We can't depend on the 911. We can't depend on the police because they crooked as hell. And when they do kill you, when they do murder you, they'll just say, oops, my bad, and there will be no justice. Black man, protect your black woman if she's a black woman that's deserving of protection. You don't just get protection because you're black and because you're a woman. You got to be a woman that's deserving of a man's protection, a woman that acknowledges that she needs a man's protection. And then guess what? There's countless numbers of brothers who would be willing to live and die for you if you were willing to live for him. With that, we're going to go into the next topic. I wanted to go into the Tory Lanez and the Megan Thee Stallion thing, but I couldn't really find the details of what all took place. You understand? Everybody was, Tory Lanez released an album this week. Everybody said Tory Lanez album was cracking. You understand? He said the album was jamming, all of the songs, he was going in on them. I personally didn't get a chance to listen to the album, but I know a few weeks ago there was an incident with Tory Lanez where he supposedly shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. Right, but the story that Megan Thee Stallion told when she first got shot in the foot, or supposedly got shot in the foot, is not the story that she's telling now. And a lot of brothers was up in arms, about the situation, saying, "Oh, Tory Lanez is a chump, Tory Lanez is a sucker, why he shoot that woman and this and that." Brothers, we have got to not be so quick to just jump to defend a woman because she said something happens. If a woman tell a story one way, you understand, and then 2 weeks later she's telling the story a different way, 9 times out of 10 that broad is lying. And if Megan Thee Stallion really got shot, and if Tory Lanez really shot her in the foot, then that sister would have brought that brother up on charges or would have, had that brother dealt with in the court. If that brother jeopardized her career, ain't no way that she just gonna get shot in the foot and then allow nothing to happen. You understand? Now, I don't know what happened to Tory Lanez. Like I said, I don't know enough about the story to speak on exactly what happened. But what I do know, what I do believe is that she's full of BS. If she told the story one way, then 2 weeks later she come and say something different. You understand? And Tory Lanez, anytime you a brother, man, you fighting against something, it'll the freedom of being a man and standing strong, it trickles down into all other areas of your life, man. You a man and you free and you operating in full masculinity and you coming and going and you got your mojo is what Austin Powers said. When a man has his mojo, man, he can do anything. And when you a man that has, complete control and authority over the females that you have in your life, like Jay-Z said, if you got 99 problems and a woman ain't one, well, then goddamn, you ain't even really got no problems. Being a man and having control of your manhood, it makes everything in life better, man. Tory Lanez, I don't know about Tory Lanez's previous CDs. I don't know what his music was like before, but I ain't never heard everybody saying, man, this new Tory Lanez is jamming. But Tory Lanez get into it. Now listen, Tory Lanez is about 5'3", probably 110 pounds soaking wet with a bag of nickels in his pocket. He a little cat. And Megan Thee Stallion about 5'10", 185, 195. That's one of them thick cornbread fed women from down Houston. I can imagine they got in an argument or a fight, or she disrespected him, or she tried to check him. And Tory Lanez, them little brothers got not an inferiority complex, but they small in stature. They got what they call it, Napoleon syndrome. I imagine Tory Lanez got the Napoleon syndrome, and he was not taking no lip off no Megan Thee Stallion. Megan get to acting up. Tory Lanez had to check her. Woman, listen, you going this and that. They get to arguing and fighting. Well, Tory Lanez coming out of that, knowing that he asserted his masculinity, knowing that he ain't let himself get trumped by this woman, he went in that studio, man, laid down them tracks, and voila, here go a jamming CD. So I don't believe, like I said, I don't know the story, but I don't believe Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. Whatever happened, I do believe Megan Thee Stallion was embarrassed. That's why she came out. And again, women with people in their ears. Tory Lanez, I heard, said that she let her publicist and her, her team that's responsible for her image put her out there saying that Tory Lanez beat me, Tory Lanez shot me, and tried to make her play her to be the victim. You understand? And that's what happened when women listen to their silly ass friends or the silly ass people in their corner. If Megan Thee Stallion was wrong and Tory Lanez checked her, they got into it and her pride was hurt. Maybe she was a little embarrassed. She should have sucked it up and dealt with it. But she let everybody else get in her ear and tell her, oh, girl, you got to do this. You got to do that. You can't stand for that. Hell, messed around and maybe lost her a good man. Tory Lanez might have been the right man to, subdue her get her in line. God knows she done been through about 4 or 5 brothers since she came out. You understand? Who was she with the cat from Memphis, man? Moneybag Yo. You know what I'm saying? She was a seen her being rumored to being with somebody. You know what I'm saying? All of them cats. Another thing too, like I said last week with the Will Smith and the Offset situation. Don't look at these celebrities like they bigger than life, like they are beyond the things that you and I go through. You understand? Just because Megan Thee Stallion is some famous rap woman and Tory Lanez is some famous singer, it's still just man-woman stuff. I can imagine that he probably was in this because I heard she was jealous over him flirting with some other woman. They probably came to the event together. They in there. Hey, bitch, I'm Tory Lanez. I'm in here. I'm swagging and doing my thing, hollering at the woman and mingling. And she probably in there like, nigga, I'm Megan Thee Stallion. You supposed to sit there and be my trophy. He like, bitch, you what? I'm Tory Lanez. Oh, you better go sit down somewhere. She get mad, get upset. They got to leave the party all early. They get out there in the car. They arguing. She probably putting big, long Houston fingers in his face. He like, man, listen, woman, you got me messed up. They get to arguing and fighting. He check her, embarrass her real bad. Who knows what happened with the gun? Gunshot go off. Who knows what the situation was with that? But instead of her acknowledging that she got checked, acknowledging that maybe she was wrong and she was insecure and she ain't, respect the man that she was dealing with, she go and let the people in her corner tell her that she got to rebel and fight back, and now it's just a whole ugly mess. But I'll tell you what, if Tory Lanez did indeed shoot that sister in the foot, there's no way that Tory Lanez wouldn't have had to go to court, wouldn't have had to deal with something, you know what I'm saying, some kind of repercussions from going through what he went through. You understand? But let it be a lesson to you brothers, man. A woman try to challenge you, try to challenge your manhood, try to challenge your masculinity, man. Assert yourself and stand on being a goddamn man. Don't let no woman break you down or no woman weaken you. And don't teach a broad an evil ass lesson that if she go off on you in public, that'll get you to stop what you're doing or get you to, dumb yourself down. A lot of women, like I said, like I told y'all, my aunt told me when I was young, a woman know who to try with certain things. So if you got a woman trying you, you got to teach her a lesson. You out in public with your woman, man, and y'all eating at a restaurant, y'all get to arguing, and she try to fake get loud, you get louder. She get to being ignorant, and you go be completely retarded. Like my uncle used to say, if she want to act stupid, then you be retarded. But you go and show this woman, I will not allow you to embarrass me. I will not allow you to shame me. You want to act stupid, you want to act retarded, well then we'll just be two dumb, retarded people in this place. But everybody going to know that I'm a man and I wear the drawers in this house. And I imagine that Tory Lanez was letting Megan Thee Stallion know, woman, you around me, then you going to understand that you got a position and a role to play. I ain't these other rap cats. And they got into it. Their situation went viral. Tory Lanez went in the studio, cranked out a hellified album. Salute to Tory Lanez. And Lord allow Megan Thee Stallion get it together. All of that savage, bougie, ratchet. You can't be savage, bougie, ratchet and expect that a man is going to defend you and a man is going to stand up for your honor. How can a man stand up for your honor if you don't have no honor to begin with? How can a man respect you when you don't respect yourself? That's just something for you sisters for the sisters to think about. And for you brothers, if you know a woman is not worth it, don't allow no goofy broad to bring you down. You understand? Now, speaking of that, I want to pull up a video, man, that surfaced this week. And it is a very disgusting and shameful video. But I want to highlight a mistake that I seen a brother made in this video. Going back again to a woman trying a man, a woman seeing what she can do and what she can get away with. If you got a broad that's out of line and that's out of order, man, there's a right way and a wrong way to deal with it. You understand? But if you teach a woman that she can do things to get a reaction out of you, then you putting yourself in a position for her always to push a button and to get a reaction. Sometimes it's good that a woman knows that she'll get a reaction out of you. You can train her in a way where, hell, she knows that if she argue with you and say certain things, then it means that we're going to go in the bedroom tonight and we're going to make up and she's going to get what she needs. It might be good for her. Sometimes, brothers, I remember when I was being young growing up, I used to hear about women arguing over a toilet seat. Woman, man, you left the toilet seat up. Why you leave up the toilet seat? And I always thought to myself, like, well, goddamn, I go to the bathroom at night, and I go in the bathroom and I make sure I put the seat down. I ain't never went and sat on the toilet and fell in the toilet. What kind of goofy ass woman thing is that? But as I got older and got in a relationship, I realized that the arguing over the toilet seat is never about a toilet seat. Women have this thing where if a woman, wants to, she like to be made love to passionately. She like it, maybe like it rough. She like it when you get angry and you full of all that aggression. She wants you to take some. She need to feel your manhood. Need to feel that you a man. But a woman doesn't know how to just say, "Hey, baby, I like it rough tonight." To her, that defeats the purpose. For her to say, "Oh, baby, I want some passionate love making tonight." For her to have to say it is stupid. She wants you to read her mind. She wants you to go inside of her head and realize that this ain't about no toilet seat. I don't care about that goddamn toilet. I just want to be need to be made love to rough. As a man, you have to learn your woman and learn the different cues that she's giving you to let you read her mind. Woman argue with you about the toilet seat, brother. It's not about the toilet seat. She wants to make you mad so that y'all can make up and you can remind her why she's lucky to be with you in the first place. But women go about it in a goofy roundabout way. Really, some of it is they don't know. Some of it is it defeats the purpose for them to tell you they want to be made love to the way they want to be made love to. The other thing is a lot of women are afraid of rejection. A lot of you brothers, you may be in a relationship with a woman and you may feel like your woman don't come on to you, so to speak, or she ain't, initiating the love making. A lot of that has to do with a woman being scared of you just saying, not tonight. Fall back. You know what I'm saying? If any of you brothers ever had a relationship that you maintain long enough, you'll get to a point in the relationship where your woman will try that with you. You'll try to make a move on her or kiss her in that place or touch her in that spot. And she say, oh, no, baby, not tonight. I'm tired. And as a man, you be infuriated. What the fuck you mean not tonight? What you talking about? You better turn over. But a woman does not know how to handle that. A woman doesn't know how to come to you and make a move and you shut her down. So because women don't know how to take rejection and handle rejection, she'll start a whole argument about a toilet seat that'll cause y'all. Now, it might not be the toilet seat. I don't know what the new thing is. I know I ain't never argued about no damn toilet seat in my house. The arguments in, what I'm saying, my house it be stuff that I know, okay, there's no way in hell that she's mad at me about this goofy ass thing. We two grown ass, fully grown adult human beings. There's no way that we arguing and fighting about this. There's no way she got an attitude about this goofy thing. So if I know it's not about this goofy thing, what is it about? And because I know my women longer, I know my woman and I've learned her and understand her, I know this is her way of saying, I need some attention, I need some love, I need some passion. Well, you brothers, learn your woman and learn her language. Learn how she speaks in code so that you'll know, okay, this argument ain't about, the kids' toys being out or about me hanging with the boys. It's about this. Learn that and do it. You can train your woman to where she'll know to start an argument with you about something goofy so that you can give her what she needs. You understand? But you can train her a good way. You can train her that way. Or you could train her that if she wants to, make you mad, she go and pretend like she gonna go out home with her friends. She gonna go hang out with them sluts who you told her don't be around because birds of a feather flock together. Women do different things to trigger a man. So this video here is a video of a woman triggering her man, and it is a horrible shame and an embarrassment. And I'm going to play it for you all now. Bear with me. Let me go ahead and get this set up. And some of you may have seen this video. Some of you may have not. I am going to play the video and then I'm going to talk over the video. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to play the video for y'all. Now, I'm going to set the stage for y'all. This is at some restaurant that just opened in New York. The head chef of the restaurant is the salt nigga. The nigga, the cat that do this with the salt. The little salt bay, they call him. He had the salt. He's doing the steak and he seasoned the meat like this. Well, he has a restaurant he just opened and they got patrons that are in this restaurant. Well, the camera starts rolling and here's some black woman with her shirt pulled up, and I'm going to let y'all see the video. Now, she's in there twerking it for Salt Bay, twerking it for the whole goddamn restaurant management staff, twerking it for everybody. She's shaking them little cheeks. Them little cheeks is twerking and gyrating. And here comes her man knocking on the door, coming in there and cursing her out. Let me tell y'all this. The worst thing that this brother could have done was to bang on that glass and to come in that restaurant and to curse that woman out. What this brother must have, what he has to realize, as soon as he's looking in that window, he has got to say to himself, I chose me a hoe. Look at this disloyal, trifling, nasty, attention-seeking bitch. Why the hell did I do this to myself? If he could have composed himself and not gotten emotional, he could have just stood there and let that bitch twerk. Just let that hoe twerk for the Salt Bay. Let that bitch twerk for the restaurant staff. Let her twerk and have her fun. Let the hoe embarrass herself. Let her shame herself. Listen, if that was me and I ran up on my bitch dancing and twerking for the fucking restaurant waiter staff, I would have just said nothing. And you know what he would have done by saying nothing? He would have put her in a place where she knew that she lost him. And if you can get a woman to be in a place where she knows she's done something where you should have nothing to do with her, well, it's a perfect teaching opportunity to show her what she must do to make it up to you. You understand? I remember, this is little things that's funny to me. You know what I'm saying? In the movie Next Friday, they had Little Pimp, Money Mike. And in Little Pimp, the woman did something wrong. And she said, baby, I'm sorry. And the Little Pimp said, ho, don't be sorry, be careful. Now, for many of us, that you just gloss over little things like that. It's a little funny banter, a little funny dialogue. But that is a lesson that every woman should learn. Don't be sorry. Be careful. Because if you're a man who always accepts sorry, then you'll have a woman who never learns how to not mess up. If you don't accept her sorry, then she'll learn to be careful. But what is the end result of this brother going off at this sister like this? What is the end result? Now, because he's coming there banging on the glass, now she can say he embarrassed her. Now she can say he's jealous, he's controlling. I was just having a little fun with the Salt Bay. Brothers, you have to make sure that you never put a woman in a position where she can blame you for anything because, okay, I'm trying to pick my words carefully. You have got to use logic and not emotions to overthrow a woman's silliness. By him coming in there all strong and mean and yelling and looking like he was going to hit her or fight her or do something, now she can say, you embarrass me, you're controlling and you're mean and you're violent. But if he would have just stood at that glass, watched her twerk, kept his emotions, maintained himself, he could have just said, I am going to remember this. And I am going to make sure that this whore knows that, bitch, you is nothing and don't deserve to be kept and don't deserve to be loved. And if I decide that I'm going to entertain the idea of dealing with you, you will forever be making it up to me for how you shamed and embarrassed me, shaking your little twiggy buns for the Salt Bay and his goddamn restaurant staff. But by letting the anger and the moment overtake him and bursting in there and making a angry display, he now puts her in a place where she can damn near say they even. Yes, I was twerking, I was wrong, baby. I shouldn't have been twerking. But you came in there like you was going to hit me, like you was going to beat me. That's not right. Brothers, if you find a woman in an era Don't let your emotions get the best of you, man. You got to be cool, calm, collective, and be calculated in the decisions you make. You catch up, like, listen, man, I've never had this issue, never had this problem. But I wish I would catch a woman of mine doing what this broad did. I would have blamed myself. I would have said, you know what? I am a clown fool for allowing myself to bun some slut that would go and twerk and shake her little buns for some nigga with a camera because he was on a meme. Because he had some 3-second video of porn. He's the goddamn cook. This goofy bitch wants to dance for the cook. When I'm her man, I am goofier than her. I am weaker than her. But then to refuse to take responsibility, you bust in there and you want to yell and argue and make a clown of yourself and her in front of her. You ruined everybody's fun. Goddamn. She's a hoe. You at least could let everybody have fun. Let them enjoy the little twiggy buns. Let them enjoy the little twerking. Let them get a 50-second, clip out of it. He came in there and ruined all the fun. And now all her friends will see it, and everybody who watch it get to go say, "Gang, I don't know why you with him. And he violent. He came in there, this and that." Now I seen brothers that was commenting. They was, she looked scared, but this is not fear on her face. You know what this is? Look at that. That look right there is embarrassment. It is shame, and it is good for a hoe to feel. But if a hoe in the midst of embarrassment and shame gets to feeling like she's being attacked, that embarrassment and that shame will turn into woman's empowerment. It'll turn into her being right. This bitch was wrong. She shamed herself. She shamed the brother. And if the brother knew how to lead this woman, first of all, if he was leading her right, she wouldn't be shaking the Twiggy buns in front of the goddamn Salt Bay and the restaurant staff. That's first and foremost. It's your fault, huh? Why the hell your woman, you step away to the car, how the hell is your woman in there twerking for the restaurant? What kind of bitch you got on your hands? If you didn't train her, well then why would you choose a bitch that would twerk her Twiggy buns in front of the Salt Bay? It's his responsibility. I blame this brother for this bitch being out of line. Now, acknowledging that she's out of line, acknowledging that she's a hoe and she gonna shake the Twiggy buns any chance she get, let the hoe shake them. Let her shake them, and then she look up and see you standing there, and you just looking, and then let her feel the shame and the embarrassment of all that fun I just was having. I played myself. That brother could have used that moment to just say, "See, this is why I got 3 other women. This is why I got, that's why I'm dropping you off. I'm going to go see Crystal tonight." And she could cry and be upset, say whatever she want, but guess what? She would know to shut the hell up because she ain't got nothing to say. Now, if you lose a woman like that, lose the bitch. Lose her, man. Lose her. If she's a hoe, she want to go twerking, she want to go, shaking it in the club. Don't go in there and fight the nigga dancing on her or fight her or yell at her. Let the hoe go be a hoe. Let the slut be a slut. Save yourself the energy and the time and the frustration. Because hoes gonna be hoes out. Freaks is gonna be freaks. And Twiggy Buns is gonna shake where Twiggy Buns is gonna shake. But if you want to train a woman, it's got to be calculated. It's got to be, you got to be responsible about it. You can't be emotional. You can't be reactionary. Everything you do has got to be planned, plotted, and strategized. And that's the way that you as a man are going to be able to have a woman that'll respect you, that'll love you, that'll be what you need her to be. All right. Finally tonight, last story that I wanted to get to, and this goes more to the point that I was making last week with the lines becoming blurred between masculinity and femininity. This is something that's just, to me, is laughable, right? But then again, I'm a different type of brother. I was, came up a different kind of way. But I saw this picture, and somebody said, "What do you think of this polyamorous relationship?" Now, apparently, this is supposed to be a relationship where this woman is having sex with both of these brothers. And I guess both of these brothers are her man. First and foremost, all this is is a train that these brothers decided to continue to run. Now, some of y'all out there is freak nasty. You're in the world, you're having threesomes, and you're doing this and that. 2 men and a woman is not a threesome. That is a train being ran. You understand? A train is 2 men taking a woman and riding her to town. These 2 fellas ran a train on this woman, and I guess they just, I guess she stayed the night. They ran it. They ran the train and the broad wouldn't leave. Or they ran the train and the hoe got up and cooked breakfast. They ran a train and the bitch went and made, omelets and waffles for everybody. I don't know what was going on here. But I'll tell you this. Both of these brothers are homosexuals. Both of these brothers have a attraction to one another. And it is a vile and this is a sick affection. You understand? No real men, and all the real men out there, I know you're going to feel me on this. No real man shares a woman. No real man puts his penis where another man puts his. In order for you to be a man and to know that another man is putting his penis in this place and doing what men do with their penises with a woman, and you're going to go put yours there too? Secretly, brother, you like the idea that you're having sex in the place where this other man has sex, or you are too weak of a man to know that you deserve a place for your own penis to go. Either way, it is homosexual. It is a vile affection. It is a disgusting lust that is not natural. You understand? I don't want to keep using the nature analogy because men aren't animals. We aren't just dogs, and women aren't animals. We aren't just like cats and rabbits. You understand? As men and women, we were made to be on a higher plane, to operate at a higher level, mentally, spiritually, and physically. But if you look at nature, the reason why the male animals fight is so that the one who wins gets to decide all the women he has sex with. The male animals don't fight for them to still share a bitch. Now, if you a cat in the hood and you got 2 male dogs and a female dog, and you see the 2 dogs take turns on that female, that ain't natural. Them is 2 bitched up dogs. In the wild, they would fight to the death if necessary to decide who gets to put their penis in all these women. And if there's a woman the man who wins, if he don't want to put his penis in the woman, he'll say, all right, man, here, cat, you had this one. Go look at wolves. You got a wolf pack, you got an alpha male and an alpha female. That alpha male, he goes to town on all the females that he wants. But he'll save a female or 2 for the other cats in the pack. Hell, they got to get theirs off too. But that alpha male decides how it trickles down. So if you a grown-ass man, and look, I can look at these cats. Look at these cats. Look at the way they dress. I'm going to pull them up on the big screen again. The cat sitting down is, he's just the damn typical light-skinned guy. He got the big, the goofy Raiden hat. He got on a sundress. What the hell is that thing? Do men even wear that? Look at the cat with the gray. What is that, a sweater? What the hell is that? I don't even know no men that wear that. But he got cuts in his jeans. He got the whole goofy look. It's just goofy and metrosexual. He looks, he looks half a faggot. Then you got the cat in the gray, and just look at his hole. It's just weak as hell. And then look at this nasty broad that they're both with. Oh God, this is disgusting. These brothers like watching each other have sex with this broad. And she's a nasty freak that just, she's nasty. She'll just, let the train keep going. And because these brothers are both weak and they just happy to have some hoe they can run a train on, they'll pose for a picture like this, with, oh God, it's all gay. It's all gay and it's weak as hell. But I'll tell you this about these 2 cats. These 2 cats went to college. These 2 cats pledged to a fraternity. These 2 cats are brothers of brothers. That's why they don't mind sharing a woman. And go and look at these polyamorous relationships as they start to pop up. Look at these men who believe that a woman can have multiple partners, and they have multiple partners, and they all have partners together and swap and share partners. These brothers, they have had sexual encounters with one another. And so it's not a far stretch for them to go from being with one another to going and being with this broad. Even in the world, you know what I'm saying? And this is worldly. And I'll tell you, brothers, you out there, if you running trains on women, just know that you're gay. Know that there's something gay about that. If you're in the world, it's just gay. All of it's gay. When we was young, we thought it was fun. We thought it was cool. But even when you were young, in my former life, even the times that I was involved or around a train scenario, there was always some gay nigga there. Some nigga just did something gay, said something gay, yeah, it's just gay. It's gay. You're there, you're trying to focus on your half of the torso. Some cat looking you in the eyes or talking to you. All of it's gay. These two cats are gay. They like having sex with one another. You understand? They just got the woman in there to make themselves feel like it's, okay. But they're weak, they're hoes. She's a slut, she's a freak. And, Lord be with them. But understand this, woman. This is for the ladies out there. And this is for the fellas. Woman, no real man will have you if he knows that another man has you. A real man is going to demand that you be all his. And the reason why is because men are not as complicated as women when it comes to their affection and when it comes to their need to be satisfied. Men need the same thing. The thing that makes this man happy and satisfies him, the other man wants the same thing. And what that is that we want you to be ready and willing when we're ready for you to be ready and willing. But how the hell can you be ready and willing if he just wore you out? Or how can how can a nigga be boyfriend number 2? All of it is just disgusting and evil and trifling. It's ridiculous. All right, so bear with me, y'all. It's evil, it's disgusting, it's wicked. And understand, woman, that the only kind of man that will have you knowing you have another man is a nigga that don't give a damn about you. He don't care about you. He just wants some sex, and he's too weak to go out and find a woman to have sex with of his own. He'll just take whatever sex he can get while your man is at work, or while your man is too busy, or while your man is, being a man. He'll come and have sex with you. He'll take whatever little seconds and crumbs that he can get. And it's damn disgusting and trifling and horrible. And both of these cats are sodomites. All right. With that, we're going to close out the show. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. Episode 2, She Doesn't Know. That's why you have to. For the brothers and sisters that missed it on YouTube, I will upload it. It's going to stay on Facebook for about a week. I'll take it down on Facebook. I'll upload it to the podcast platforms that I have, and I'll keep it up there on YouTube. You brothers and sisters, man, go to YouTube, like and subscribe. Angry Black Man Media. You fellas, we're going to have these episodes coming every Wednesday. First season might go about 13, 14 episodes, and I might take a small break. If you know any brothers out there that's struggling, man, in their relationships, struggling maintaining relationships, got any partners that feel like, they can't get a woman, can't keep a woman, you know what I'm saying? Have them call in the show, have them tune in. Purpose is to teach brothers, to elevate their level of masculinity, elevate their level of logic and truth by which they go and deal with women. Lord allow we'll be able to get it together, man, and we can have those relationships like we had, like our parents and our grandparents had. The purpose of this show is to elevate brothers back to the place where they can lead and guide, protect, secure, and reassure their women. And we can have those long-lasting relationships like our parents and our grandparents had. Most importantly, we can teach our children what a healthy, functioning relationship between a man and a woman looks like. With that, I'm Captain Sakawar. Y'all tuned in to Toxic Masculinity. Shalom.